The Jedi Knight series was a very, very popular series back in the early 2000s. But how well does this game run and feel in the year 2020? What's going on, you guys? My name is Ryan, aka Arpit, and today we are going to be diving into Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy for the Nintendo Switch. If you're new here to the channel, make sure and hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, I want to preface this review by saying that I never played this game way back when it first came out. So this is coming from the point of view of someone that bought the game more because of a love of Star Wars rather than for nostalgic purposes. So if you never played this game, but you enjoy the Star Wars series, then you and I are in that same ballpark. The game is a port of an Xbox game that released at the end of 2003, so almost 17 years ago. This game features a lot of Star Wars characters that you know and love from the movies, and from other video games including Kyle Katarn from Jedi Knight 2, Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker. This game offers a single-player story as well as multiplayer. In the single player, you play as Jaden Core, an up-and-coming Jedi student with lots of potential. He is a new student at Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy. Your goal is to figure out who this cult called the Disciples of Ragnos is and what they are up to. You travel to many familiar places seen in the movies such as Coruscant and Tatooine. Before you begin, you have the ability to build your character. You can pick their race, gender, lightsaber color, and hilt, etc. The main story consists of going on different missions. Each mission is different with different objectives. One level may have you gathering different supplies, while another will be more focused on combat where you take down smugglers or dark Jedi. When you complete a mission, you are awarded Force Points, which you can use to unlock or upgrade abilities. Here you have the choice to choose light or dark Force abilities. These decisions alter how the story flows later in the game. So, how often you decide to use your light or dark Force abilities do have an impact. My favorite ability to use was Force Lightning because you could take out a wave of enemies very, very easily. So naturally, Luke was always warning me that I needed to watch myself and not fall to the dark side. And after you complete 4 or 5 of these missions, you are sent on a more story-specific mission to progress through the story. For combat, you have your trusty lightsaber, as well as a few blaster weapons that you have the choice to choose before you enter each mission. Most of the time, I found myself using a lightsaber because it was very difficult at times getting an accurate shot off without being hit in the process when using my blasters. This game offers first person or third person, however, the option is only available for when you have a blaster. When wielding a lightsaber, your only option is third person. I definitely found that being in first person with the blaster was much smoother than in third person. But I do love that this is something they added in the game because you can play to your style that you favor. Like I mentioned before, the game also offers multiplayer, which seems to be how Nintendo chose to advertise this game. In multiplayer, there are different modes that you can play, such as free-for-all, team free-for-all, capture the flag, etc. So some may have you by yourself, while other modes have you work in a team. For me, I didn't enjoy the multiplayer mainly because of the wait times. I felt like I waited a good 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes just finding a match. It definitely played the way it should, but it just took so long to get there. So if you're a big multiplayer fan, just keep in mind that the wait times will definitely depend on who's online and how many people are playing. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the actual gameplay. So this game definitely feels like it came out of the 2000s, but this is not really surprising because this wasn't a remaster or anything like that, but more of a straight port. So if you pick up this game, get ready to feel like you are playing a game from back in the day. For myself, I enjoyed the game mostly because I am a fan of Star Wars. I would not have enjoyed this game as much if that were not the case. The controls are very clunky at times, causing many unnecessary deaths. For instance, there was one platforming level where you didn't want to be touching the sand because a sand monster would eat you, and it was so hard to stay on the solid platforms because of the controls. There are also levels where you are either riding like a tauntaun or a speeder like a vehicle, and it can be almost impossible to control at times. However, the levels where you were slicing through enemies left and right felt like a real joy, and this is where I found myself having the most enjoyable time. The story is also really well done and kept me intrigued, so I definitely found myself engrossed in the story and just wanting to progress and figure out what was going on with the storyline. Now let's get to the verdict. Is this game eShop trash or treasure? I have to put this game as eShop trash for a couple of reasons. The biggest reason was that this game cost you $19.99, which seems very overpriced for an early 2000s port, especially when you consider that Jedi Knight 2 is only $9.99 on the eShop. The controls felt very hard to control at times, especially when riding a vehicle or platforming. I would recommend this game for someone who played this game back in the day and wants to pick it up again, because I feel like they would really enjoy experiencing this story again. I'd also recommend this game for anyone who's a fan of Star Wars. Just because I would lean more on the trash side than treasure on this one, that doesn't mean I didn't have a good time playing this game. There were just too many things wrong in the game that did not get cleaned up for it to be priced at a full $20. So if you are a fan of Star Wars and you end up seeing this game on sale on the eShop for probably like $10 to $12, I feel like it's definitely worth it at that point. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure and hit that like button. Again, subscribe if you guys are new here to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.